Hello people, Flaery here once again. Today we'll be doing build reviews of heroes. It will be again endgame focused and what you should be trying to get. And I think I'll start off with Indra, as this is something a lot of people are wondering what to use on. Now, Indra, his damage comes from his skill 1 or S1, which you'll hear a lot, and it's based on his defense and again defense internal injury. So defense scales this the most along with mastery, and then if you have internal injury bonus blessing, it will only scale this part, it will not scale this one. So it's not a double the damage increase. So in that sense, mastery is fine until at least you hit like a good amount, like 150, say. Now, I'm not running mine in the gear I usually do, so I'm around 1.9 speed and 62k defense, but it's similar stats that you see. When you're manually adding Indra, you wanna start his trial, then S1, then if you have exclusive 3, you go again with the trial, he applies some stacks on the boss again, and you go again with his skill 1. And that's pretty much the gameplay of Indra. When there's no stacks on the boss whatsoever, then you use his S2, which is a different one that can apply a thunderstorm mark. Now in terms of auras, Surging Force aura is the best one on him. I've actually managed to max it out with the new content. They gave us like 2 free stars, one star for pretty cheap amount. And yeah, for earlier, Master Expert is fine, and that's about it. In terms of Echo, this one is actually the best one you could use, because this increase to defense applies on his total defense and not on his base defense. Now when you hear base, base stats are basically these, and for example death rate would apply to the base stat, not to the overall value. So in that sense, that Echo gives the most defense, and Indra doesn't really need attack. Now Ether's Echo is also okay, but it's 48% on the base defense, and this is 24, and then 16% on the overall defense. So it's like a lot more. Well, not a lot, but let's say like 60%. I don't know the exact value. And the other Echo is Chardonnay's Echo, which is also fine to use on Indra. It's this one. Now this one is also applied on the overall defense, so that's fine in that regard. But the blue Echo is the best from what we know from testing. In terms of blessings, you could use some speed if your Indra is super slow. HP is fine because the shield he grants are based on his HP. Then here you could do mastery or basic attack damage or internal injury damage. And obviously for the third ones you want death rate. Got lucky with this one, and I think I got this one from the trading house for 500 gems or so. In terms of emblems, mine are completely wrong. Yeah, you should not be focusing on effect hit. Should probably take the def rate one and then the tenacity damage reduction emblems. In terms of gear, what we want is, well, devouring set is the best one you can get, but you would need a lot of backing substats from the sanctuary, and you would be looking for def rate and mastery. As you can see, I have quite good ones. This one is just crafted normal one, nothing too fancy. Some mastery here. Oh, this one, road alright. I could have used some more def rate or speed here, or even HP rate, but it rolled into attack. Not too happy. Here we're looking for def. I would love to find an upgrade for this, just to get some more defense, like 700 I believe. And the last one, again, defense. You really don't need the speed on him because dianmu boosts him enough. If you don't have good devouring sets and you're really low on mastery and defense, like I'm talking if you're below 40,000 and like below 120, like 130, you should really be focusing on getting a good mastery set with good substats like defense and mastery. That should be your first thing. You can easily test the damage comparison, let's say versus guild boss. Just test it, see what works best for you. Maybe a combination of one devour set, one mastery set would be better for you. And yeah, I think that about covers him. And let's go to dianmu. On dianmu, you want as much speed as possible. Mine would be over 3000 if I give her one of these artifacts. You're looking for speed and only speed, really. Effect hit you would want for early game if you're using her for campaign clearance or faction abyss or tower of mark. She needs effect hit for her stun to land, but I would say you need to transition from that about mid game and just start focusing on speed. You want her to act as much as possible to boost your Indra damage. And yeah, just look for speed. You want mastery and speed here. This one is quite good. In terms of echo, the best echo for her would be Santa's echo, because she's granting speed up, which would increase your team's damage over time damage by a lot. If you don't have that, you could use even like Divine Barrier, that's alright. It's not too critical on her. Blessings, you want speed, and then some mastery or attack rate. Third ones don't really matter, you could do whatever you like here. She's a almost entirely PV unit. She has some uses in 5v5. She can be used just because you already have stacked a lot of speed on her. She's granting consolidation, speed up, stun. She has some removal and some form of a cleanse. Well, not too much, but yeah, she does. In terms of emblems, nothing too fancy here. I've actually went with more healing because she does heal a little with her skill 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or just her passive. Yeah. And that covers dianmu. And let's move on to Nicholas, I wanted to show him off earlier, and I'm going to do that now. For Nicholas, you really want to be aiming for effect hit. I could get mine to probably 200 or more, but I've sacrificed some effect hit for more speed, and since I'm running Hit Grandmaster, I really don't need that much effect hit on him. You should be running Hitmaster on him, most definitely. You want to be landing those freezes in the dungeons and in PvP. It's very important. His exclusive 2 makes it so you're perma-freezing the enemies, basically. You can keep spamming it without a cooldown, with Lydia, of course. In terms of blessings, you want freeze hits and not effect hit. Effect hit you would use on units that actually need the effect hit, and freeze hit is rolling with higher values than effect hit. So you could essentially get like 40% effect hit. I don't know what's the max value. I've went here with some effectors for PvP. These are just like stat boosting, nothing else. Obviously his own echo is best for him. In terms of emblems, yeah, you want as much effect hit as possible. This one is primarily for PvP. I wouldn't recommend using it if you don't do so much PvP. In terms of gear, you want first aid and first aid only, with speed and effect hit. Depending on your stats, you should focus one or the other more. For early to mid game, you should probably be focusing more on effect hit, and later on move to speed, as for dungeons you would need quite a lot of speed, and you would want your Santa to be faster than your Nordic, just because he would then have one extra turn of Nordic's invincibility. Here, nothing too fancy, just some effect hit and speed, some HP, effect hit speed, and some effect hit here. And that about covers Nicholas. I do believe I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, he's quite versatile. I do recommend getting him as your first LT from the box. And yes, okay, we've covered the PV units, so to say, that are essential in clearing a lot of the content in the game. Let's move on to, say, Katherine, as that's something that would interest early to mid game players. Now for her, you want to be focusing HP and speed. Her healing is based on her HP, and her shield is based on her HP. My stats are not particularly good, and you should be looking for either speed pieces with speed and HP rate. For example, something like this works out pretty good. You want HP here as well. She could also use first aid set early on. If you have some extra first aid sets lying around with HP rate, that's alright too. But later on I recommend you move to speed entirely, and you would want to make her the fastest in your team in both PvP and PvE, because she's cleansing 1 debuff on her turn. When she takes double turns, she would cleanse 2, and you want her to go first to cleanse your teams from 2 debuffs basically. In terms of echoes, you would usually give her any HP percent one, and early game this one is also good if you have attack based DPS. If not, it's kind of whatever. I think strike armor is probably the best echo you could get on her early on. In terms of blessings, you want speed, and that's it. Just want speed on her. In terms of emblems, we are going with speed and HP here. This is entirely for PvP. For PvE you would want to pick this one to have a chance to reduce her cooldown. And yeah, that about covers it. In terms of gear, we already did cover this, but I just wanted to go over what you should be doing. Again, you want to do this, and let's say this one has some good HP rates. This is something that we are not using. I would say this, and then again, let's say this one's fine. Here you would want HP and speed. We don't have much of that. And here you would want HP rate. Say this one. And that's a little better. Yeah, that about covers it, and I think I'll end the video here, not to make it too long. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy.